Hello again and welcome to another video, and today this is a topic that at least I was always looking for videos about to see how other people got along with buying reproduction games from Chinese websites and other places like Etsy. Now, Earthbound was a game that I've always wanted to play, and if you haven't seen some of my other videos, you might know that I'm not big into emulating video games, but I know what you're going to say. How is reproduction games any different than emulating games? Well, here's the thing. You can play these on an actual system because, they're in a cartridge and all that. But, you're also going to say, why don't you get one of those EverDrives? I like having a physical thing on a shelf. There's your answer to all your questions. If you have any more, let me know. But that's the main two. So the first place I went to was Aliexpress. And there's tons and tons of stuff on Aliexpress. There is probably like 24 versions of Earthbound you can buy from AliExpress from different Chinese sellers. And I just went with the cheapest one. Why not? Why pay extra if it's all coming from China anyway? So I ordered it, and of course, coming from China, the shipping is kind of outrageous. But I was getting two games at the same time. I was getting Earthbound and Panic Restaurant on the NES. Now, for some reason, I forgot to bring over Panic Restaurant, but I can tell you Panic Restaurant was perfectly fine. The labels has been peeling a little bit, but the game worked. There was nothing wrong with the game itself, and it looks great. But Earthbound, the first cartridge I got is this one. Now, when you first look at it, some of you will know right away what's different and what's the same. If I hold it like this, you would have no idea, because the only difference on the front is the fact that it has fake screws. And I don't know how I'm going to do this with this lighting. There you go. You see, they're just plastic. This game has no real screws. If you pop the tabs up here, it opens up, and you can see the insides. And the board in it's only about this tall, and it's yellow, and it's very obviously not real. Now, flipping it over, you can also see it's very obviously not real on the back, because there's no sticker, there's no labeling here. And this was the first attempt. This label, for the most part, stayed on. I was okay with this, because I'm not going to try to trick somebody with this. There's a local game shop that just opened up, run by some guy. His like 14-year-old son wanted to open a game shop, so he kind of threw him in his business and said, "Here you go." It's like, if you ever want to see what a fake looks like, let me know, because I've got some. And yes, I don't mind that it looks fake. But what I did mind is I started it up, and now this one didn't come with a save battery, but I ordered save batteries to put in it, so I didn't mind that. But I was quickly realizing this was not in English. Even though I had specified English, I chose the one that said USA version. This was in Portuguese. And there was no way, an RPG game, there's no way I was going to play that. So I thought of all my options. I thought, well, I'll reuse the cartridge, and I'll just, order pieces to flash a ROM myself, solder to a board, put it in the thing. But when you come down to it, it's cheaper to buy them from China. And it's kind of sad, because they have to be getting these parts from somewhere, and I don't know where, unless they're sourcing them directly from their own places in China. But it's more expensive to make them yourself. So eventually I decided, I'll think of somebody in the United States who can make me one of these. So I went to Etsy. And Etsy tells you where things are coming from. So I specifically looked for a United States seller, and I ended up with this one. Now, he might have said United States seller, but as soon as the shipping started and it said it was coming from China, I was like, uh-huh. He is ordering this where I got this and is selling it to me as if he had it. But obviously it wasn't. Now this cartridge, let me get this one nice and close for you. This one has real screws in it, real golden screws that actually function as screws. And this one also has a sticker and the Nintendo logo here. This one also feels heavier like a regular cartridge. This feels like nothing. This is empty, practically. This feels realistic. And I have not opened this. I can kind of see the board. It does look green. So this one is one of those well done fakes. The kind that if you really didn't know what you were looking at, you would think this was a legitimate copy. And now, like I said, I'm not about to go sell this to somebody because, first of all, I wanted to play this, and this is not playable. So obviously, I want to keep it for myself. Plus, I only buy these for the intent of me using them for like games that cost like $200 or up, or even $100 and something dollars for one game. Those are games that I would never play unless I had a reproduction cartridge. So how does this one work? This one came with a save battery inside that actually functions, no problems. This one was in English, and honestly, like I said, this would be a cartridge that would fool somebody. Now, if I opened it and it obviously said it was fake inside, then maybe it wouldn't. But I'm not about to open it because I don't even know where my little, whatever you call these security bits are. I have them, but I don't know where they are. And it's too much work to bother. It works, I don't want to break it. But this is the two extremes of what you're going to get from China. You're going to get the clearly fakes that might not be in the right language, or you're going to get some great things that are so realistic that it really is, questionable. Did they take a cartridge? Like, is this a donor cartridge? Could be. Some people say the Etsy cartridges have a bunch of wires inside. And if it does, that's more reason I'm not opening this thing. But that's kind of the adventure of it. I got half of my money back for this. They wanted me to send it back to China if I wanted a full refund. I thought I was going to use the cartridge for something, so I was like, I'll take half and then I'll turn it into, I don't know, I'll stick it to the wall. I'll drive a nail through it or something, I don't know. Or if somebody wants a Portuguese version. Another thing you can see, I don't know if you're going to be able to tell, this cartridge, you can tell it was put in a mold. You're not going to be able to see it. Oh yeah, you can. Right here. This is where the mold, where they popped the plastic off, and they did not bother to sand that down or anything. This one doesn't have that. This one is perfectly smooth. I mean, you can kind of see the circles where the mold would be, but otherwise, that is done correctly, where this one is not. So yeah, any more reproduction cartridges I'll show you. The Panic Restaurant's over there. That one is, nothing wrong with it besides the label peeling. I'll show you some gameplay sometimes of these just to show you that they do work. But at least you know what your experiences can be. They run about the same price. They run between $10 and $15. So they're cheap, but it's a gamble of what you're going to get. So I hope this helps somebody, and I'll see you next time.